Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Bowls Revolution podcast. And it's me here, David Coombs, and
me, Terry Kennard. Good afternoon.
we start today with apologies. Now, there's a certain young lad that was here last week that interfered with the podcast, and he's here to make his apologies.
Hello. This is Button, the Yorkshire terrorist.
Yes. And he is hopefully, until we get our new
He loves
soundproof
his Auntie Terry.
till we get our new soundproof studios, I'm afraid he might interfere from time to time. But at the moment, he can go now. You can go now.
Oh, you can go now, right?
You go now. Go play in the traffic.
Don't knock over the wine. There's a good sort.
Yeah, you go play in the traffic now. He'll be okay. It's all right. I love him really. He only does it twice a week.
I'm his wicked Auntie Terry.
Right, Terry. Now you've got something from. We did get some feedback from the last podcast. We had some comments from. Well, it's Torquay United Indoor Bowls Club, to be honest.
Yeah. Torquay United Indoor Bowls Club has written in and asked us if we would give them a bit of a plug, and here we go. We are running their dementia groups, young persons competitions, and also help for heroes. So if you fall into any of those categories, please contact Gary Hitching at tuibc.members@gmail.com, or you can call Gary on 01803 328 488. And thank you for those comments, Gary. We'll do our best to plug for you.
The point of that is that he's been instrumental in leading other clubs into finding income streams for their clubs to help preserve them, and he will undoubtedly help you with anything that you would like your club to take up along the lines that have been mentioned. But if you want to go back to the first video that we recorded, that tells you everything you want to know about the aspirations and plans and ideas that Gary has got. And if you want to implement them or do implement, let us know. By all means, let us know. Now, the subject of today's podcast is the transgender community and what we can do to make them feel more welcome and more comfortable in our bowls clubs. We have to say that it's a slightly difficult subject, but that doesn't mean we won't tackle it. So here we go. Anything you want to start with, Terry?
Well, I was asked the other day when I was on a golf course how would I feel if a man had transgendered to a female? Would we accept him playing in ladies' competitions? Tricky one, but I personally would have said no, because let's face it, men are physically stronger than women. I mean, and going off the first tee in a ladies' competition to hit the ball 150 to 200 yards is great. I mean, a man could hit it nearly 300 yards, so they're at an immediate advantage. However, I think it's so few and far between that we'd have to face that problem when we came to it.
What do you mean, face it? I mean, the idea of this podcast is to make people aware that let's look at the Office of National Statistics, who reckon there could be up to 500,000 500,000 people with
transgendering.
Yes. Do you know, I don't like the word trans. I tell you why I don't like the word trans, because it's an abbreviation. It's not a proper word, and I hate abbreviations. I would have said it was independent gender awareness, is rather I'd call it. I don't suppose it would catch on though, do you?
I don't think so, because having looked up, just to do a bit of homework before we started this, I looked up, and there's on Google, and there is a site called MedicineNet, and they say that there are 72 other genders.
Oh dear.
And they're listed alphabetically, and grief, you want to read them. Half of them you can't pronounce, but I think that's quite amazing, isn't it? It's
How many?
72, it says. 72.
Not that many people in the world. Surely not.
There you go. 72 different genders. And they're worried about golfers.
Well, I worry about golfers all the time.
Oh, thank you. No, but I mean, if we had a transgender person coming to bowls, I don't see that as a problem. I don't find that abhorrent. I don't find it difficult to deal with. I think we should, you see, that's the thing about this country. It's a democracy, and I think we should welcome them with open arms. Why not? I can't see anything. I haven't got anything against it. I don't see a problem with it at all.
That's the plan, isn't it? That's what we do. But they're still discussing exactly what sort of laws they're going to put in as far as transgender people are concerned. As I say, I just don't like the word trans. I really don't like the word trans. There must be another way of dealing with it. And I think it probably has something to do with the fact that my ex-wife was only 5 foot tall, but that's not here nor there. We'll move on from that.
Right. I think probably we'd better. But trans is just an abbreviation of transference, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, I guess so. I suppose it describes the situation admirably, but I thought we could have thought of a better term. But then you go. I prefer whole words. I don't
No,
like.
but the 2004 Gender Recognition Act is still ongoing, isn't it? I mean, when we looked it up on Google just before we started this podcast, that's been going on since 2004, which is 20 years. The government has been hankering with that one. So it is a very tricky subject, and
but I think the point of this podcast is how can we help? Because the law hasn't decided what they're doing, they're still discussing it, and the new Labour government.
Get out of here, vote Conservative.
I don't think politics comes into this. The new Labour government on Friday.
Oh, God help us, go on.
The new Labour government on Friday.
All right, don't keep on.
We'll have to sort this out one way or another, but can we help them on their way to sorting this out? And I think we start by asking what trans people would like to do when they join a bowls club. What do they need as far as facilities are concerned?
Well, I don't think they really need any facilities, do they? They'll just come in, they'll play bowls and be incorporated into the club like the rest of us are.
Well, you say that, but I rang the ISCA Centre, which is not the bowls club. There's an 8-rink bowling club there. There's gyms and various other things.
Lots of lycra.
Indeed.
There's money in lycra, you know.
And I asked this poor receptionist, did he have any facilities for transgender people? And he was very polite and handled the situation very well. I wasn't going to reveal his sex, but I just did. And no, he was very polite and he handled the situation, as I said, extremely well. But he wouldn't commit himself. He couldn't say, yes, there's transgender facilities there. He couldn't even say, we've got a disabled loo there available for people, although they'd have to change the label on that. You can't label it disabled, obviously.
No.
I wouldn't have thought. But he couldn't. And in the end, all he could do, there was no facility for transgender people that he could determine, even though he worked there. And he ended up by telling me that I needed to refer to the Exeter City Council to find out what the answer was. But he would know, wouldn't he? But it indicates the problems that you would have.
But I think we're making far too much of it. I think we just open our club doors for them, and when they come in, we say to them, what facilities do you need? Are you happy with the facilities that we've got? You know, what can we do? It's if the government can't come to a decision in 20 years, Exeter City Council aren't going to come to a decision overnight, are they? I mean, it's a very, very tricky question to ask. But if you think about it, I mean, with only 200,000 transgender people,
Or up to 500,000.
Well, we don't know, do we? There could be more. So the chances are of somebody like that walking through the doors of Torquay United Indoor Bowls Club, I would think, are pretty rare.
Or any bowls club.
Or any bowls club is pretty rare. But I mean, you have to take on board that if that situation does arise, then you have to ask this person, how do we proceed with you? How can we help you? And I think you have to leave it open like that for people, really.
Well,
God help us. I mean, with some of these hate crimes that are going about, you know, with things that are going on, you know, let's hope that doesn't happen in a good society like indoor and outdoor green bowling.
but can the people that watch this help sort out the government as to exactly how they do it? Because it's not an easy solution. I mean, if there's 500,000 trans people out there and they all want to play bowls, we'd love it, wouldn't we?
Absolutely delighted. Why not? I mean, they could have it.
So so the question we ask is, what is it that you need in the way of facilities in whatever situation you happen to be in, whatever state of transition you have to be in? What do you need from our bowls club to feel happy and comfortable and enjoying
integrated?
life? Yes.
Integrated.
So you can help us with this, and we can pass it on to the government, because we're that influential, aren't we?
Wow, yeah. Bowls revolution, you see.
Yeah,
this is what
absolutely.
it's all about.
Yes, we would welcome anybody there, and any help you can give us to make sure that life is comfortable for you that's what we need. That's what we're here for, as part of the revolution, to encourage as many people as we can to join in.
The face and pace of bowls.
Indeed, you know, bowls was more popular than darts at one point.
Really?
Yes, I
Yeah,
think
well,
it was
look
David
what they
Bryant's
did to
time.
darts. I mean, they did the music and everything with it, didn't they? They really brought it kicking and squealing into, well, 20th century, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Because it happened.
We might make the 19th century by the end of the week.
The 1950s. But no, they did, and they've done the same with a lot of sports. I mean, with the World Bowls now, they have as they walk down the green at Potters, they have that music, don't they?
Yeah.
They have their introduction.
Still
music.
feels a bit contrived to me.
Well, yeah, but we'll get there with it, because it's only been happening for a couple of years now. But I think it's really good, actually, and it's the colours as well. It's the uniform colours. Got to get away
That's
from
a
this.
step forward.
Yeah, it is a step forward. Got to get away from these white malarkey and get in with some really modern colours, and that's how you attract people. That's how you move on. I think so, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, my main area is indoor bowls,
Yeah.
because quite frankly, I think outdoor bowls may be something of the past, simply because of the costs to maintaining greens and all the rest of it. And we've lost so many bowls clubs because they can't generate the income from the members they've got. So I think the future of bowls is indoors. And I will put all my efforts I can into making sure that we provide the necessary facilities and atmosphere for anybody who thinks that bowls is a good idea.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, look how we've come on with our membership over the last 2 years.
You're talking about one particular club.
I'm talking about one particular club, but however, that particular one club is being visited by other clubs to see what our model is, so that they can improve. I mean, we've had clubs come down from Bristol to look at our model and to find out how we are improving our membership and boosting our income and things. So yeah, we've got to do everything we can to bring these people in. There's so much opportunity out there for youngsters, for, as we've just previously said, dementia, help for heroes, you know, we've got it all running, and all clubs are going to go down that route sooner or later, because they're going to realise that that's the way forward. You have to integrate people. You have to integrate society. It's not just a sport for old age pensioners.
Like us, you mean?
Yeah, like us. It is a sport for youngsters. Although sometimes I do wish they'd go and do something to, you know, when we've got real youngsters in there, they'd go and do something really energetic, because actually bowls is quite sedentary, isn't it, really?
It can be.
Great therapy for hip replacements and knee replacements, great physiotherapy, but youngsters, I think, need to do something that releases all that energy.
Do you think we could become the first sport to become non-gender? I mean, no men or women or any, everybody just plays everybody else.
I don't see why not, but I think you still have to maintain your ladies championships and your ladies.
Do?
Yeah, I think so. Ladies competitions and the mixed competitions are very, very nice. I quite like doing the mixed competitions. I like doing the ladies competitions, but I still think you have to have your sections, because otherwise, you know, in the ladies section, all we'll do is come across Jamie.
That's not much different.
Sam Tolchard.
Perhaps a man could drive. That's a heavy bomb. Perhaps a man could drive better than a woman.
You do play a different game to the ladies.
Yeah, but okay. Now we've got to wrap this one up as quickly as we possibly can.
Okay.
So
get in touch with us.
Yeah,
please.
We need to know what people think about having trans people in their midst, about changing rooms, about toilets, about...
Moving the seat up.
Hey, pardon?
Never mind. Not supposed to say things like that, am I?
What's that?
Well, I just said that would a transgender man going into a ladies' loo leave the toilet seat up?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you did that. I really am. However,
no offence, please.
It's time to go. So, we'll do the usual thing. Cheers, my dears.
Are you still on the Ribena?
No, this is a non-alcoholic wine.
Can I try that, please?
Yes,
Can I have a taste?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Non-alcoholic? That's a jolly little tipple.